Hello and welcome back to the YouTube. In today's video we're going to talk over Stephen Harrison's journey from being out of shape and out of control to in shape and in control. This one is a good one. I'm going to break it down step by step. Now Stephen has been with me for a long time now and we've gone through two phases. We're now heading into our third and most important phase. So let's get into the video. So first of all, this is the beginning of Stephen's journey. On the left hand side here you can see his original physique. Our transformation began on the 23rd of June in 2024, so just shy of a year ago now. We sat down, spoke about all of Stephen's struggles, the things he finds difficult to manage. He is a mechanic who has a very busy work life, which makes dieting, prepping, training, all the rest of it quite difficult to balance and juggle, especially when it comes to fat loss. As we all know now, I maybe ruffle a few feathers with this, it's easier to gain muscle in terms of the process than it is to lose fat, I think, and I really do believe that. I feel like losing fat is very difficult to balance alongside stress at work, stressful home life, relationships and all the rest of it. So these are the things we had to sort out straight away, is in terms of managing the deficit alongside a busy lifestyle. We went straight into a 12-week cut. A lot of guys get this mistake, or make this mistake when they first start their journey into fitness, whether it's gaining muscle and just building a better physique. They go straight into a bulk. They're out of shape at the start and then say to themselves, right, I'm going to put on the muscle first. I wouldn't advise that. I think the better route to take is to strip the body fat off first, reveal your physique, and then you have a better idea of what you need to be working on in order to build an even better physique, you know? If you can't really see your muscle structure and how your physique looks, then it's very difficult for you to pinpoint areas that really need work. And then when you do get to cutting in the future, your physique is going to look off. Which is why we went into a cut first of all to reveal Stephen's original physique. So, a 12-week cut to strip the excess fat, which ended on the 5th of October, and we dropped 21 pounds in total. So from the picture of the left to the picture of the right, there's 21 pounds difference there. And you can really see in visual what I've just mentioned. You can see how now we have a very good idea of where Stephen's physique is at. You can see the structure in his back. He has quite wide lats and a small waist, which you wouldn't have been able to see from the start. Now, if you look at the picture on the left, you imagine we went straight into a bulk. There was no way Stephen would have known how well his back is structured. So that's not necessarily an area we have to prioritise. I'd rather now prioritise his chest and his shoulders, which in my opinion were the weaker body parts as opposed to his back. Whilst we went into this cut, this is really important and a key point to make. We don't want the whole process to be all about fat loss. All we do is just chase the number on the scales. It becomes very consuming. And like I mentioned, when you're trying to balance a busy work life, a stressful life outside of fitness, if all you're doing is just focusing on scale weight, looking at the scales, it becomes very tedious. And the second something goes wrong, it's easy for your mindset to be thrown off and then you go back to square one. So whilst you're going through a cutting phase, the initial cutting phase, it is so important you put in place a structured training program, which is why we use the 6-week surge method. It's almost like we want fat loss to go at the back of the mind and then bring your training program to the forefront. So in your head, you're thinking, all I need to be doing is really hammering my training program, building strength, building that good physique, and making it work from that point going forward.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Sorry about that. Moving forward, we then jumped into a 5-month gaining phase, which ended on the 11th of March, and we gained 15 pounds in total. So again, looking at the pictures from the left to the right here, there's 15 pounds difference between the two pictures, which is a great amount of progress to be made. Now you would have noticed the time differences there. A 12-week cut to drop 21 pounds, a 5-month gaining phase to gain 15 pounds. Gaining muscle takes a hell of a lot longer than you losing body fat. And if you want to gain muscle efficiently and effectively, you have to be ready to play the long game and go into a long gaining phase. Looking at these two pictures here again, you can see how well Stephen's back is structured. Look at the difference between the left and the right on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. And again, looking at the top pictures as well, you can see how much his chest and his shoulders have now progressed. So we started off nice and high. We dropped 21 pounds and then gained 15 pounds over a 5-month period. This is the key point, and this is what we hammer inside the Ultimate Coaching program. Both these 2 points are starting points for Stephen, and you can see the difference now. His original starting point on the left was miles away from where he wanted to be, whereas now his starting point is already at a high level. This is what I'll get all of our clients to do, is to bring your normal up to a much higher level. So the level you didn't think was achievable right at the start, we want that to become your new normal. So you look at Stephen's physique on the right hand side here and how much it's improved. That is now the starting point, and that's how you progress your physique over and over again. It's consistently bringing the unachievable to your normal and just repeating it over and over again. So let's look at the journey in numbers. So to summarise, we started on the 23rd of June 24 at 75 kilos. We then shifted 21 pounds to come down to 65.3 kilos. So that was in a 12-week period. So quite a harsh deficit there. And like I said, the reason for that was to shift as much excess fat as possible. Then we played the long game throughout winter, the winter bulk or the winter gaining phase. 5 months, we started at 65.3 and we got up to 72.4 kilos, which is now our new normal. And now from there, we've gone into our new cutting phase. So as of the 12th of April, with that back down at 69.5 kilos. So we're well on track again now, but the physique has really, really improved and progressed since our starting point way back in 23rd of June. Okay, so outside of that, like I said, it's so important for your mental focus, your mindset, for you to be introducing a progressive strength building plan in order for you to build that solid physique, the wide shoulders, the tight waist, the wide legs. If you want that X frame and you want to progress your strength and your physique in terms of your musculature, you need to be introducing a progressive plan rather than just 12 weeks of random bullshit lifts. You need to be structuring exactly what you're doing and progressing it over a cycle. So we use the 6-week surge method inside Ultimate Coaching. It's periodization in a nutshell. We progress your lifts across a 6-week period, which builds up to a PB week. And you can see how well Stephen has done. So this was during our winter bulk. We put on just under 20 kilos onto his back squat, just for one example. Stephen progressed in all of his lifts, but this one was a massive one. Nearly 20 kilos onto his back squat, which is a crazy amount of progress, and it's why that he's seen the amazing progress in his physique. Like I said, those 2 starting points are worlds apart. 75% of that is from the diet. The other 25% is come from making sure we are smashing training week in, week out. An incredible amount of progress. And this is a little thing for Stephen as well, you know. Stephen's mindset and how he approaches his fitness is everything we love inside Ultimate Coaching. Stephen's hardworking, he's driven, and more importantly, never takes a step backwards. Never turns around and says, you know what, I can't do it this week, I'll leave it again for next week. If you've been following my page and you know what Ultimate Coaching is about, it is all about consistency. Keep doing what you need to do over and over and over and over again, regardless of what's going on in your personal life, regardless of what's going on in your work life. It's about turning up and showing up and giving it the big one week in, week out. If you never take any backward steps, you are always in a good position. If you're someone watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, I haven't been gym for a couple of weeks now, but I want to get back into it, that's what I want you to come away from. Come away from these periods where you're not training, periods where you feel like, you know what, there's no point in me starting right now. That's a mindset that's never going to get you anywhere. If you want to progress with your physique and you want to build a solid rig, then you need to be working week in, week out. Consistency. And that comes from understanding mindset, training and nutrition. The 3 key pillars inside Ultimate Coaching. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If you want any further information, any help with your physique at all, DM me, reply to this YouTube, send me a message, find me on Instagram at bwilkinsonfitness, send me a DM with the word mindset, and I'll be in touch. I'll see you on the next one.